iOS 18 is shaping up to be one of the biggest updates ever for the iPhone, and we have several last-minute leaks that you need to know about before WWDC tomorrow. By the way, if you look below and you're not subscribed to the channel, you're going to miss out on all of the iOS 18 coverage once Apple actually unveils iOS 18, so make sure you are subscribed to the channel by clicking that button down below. So before I spoil iOS 18 for you, I just want to let you know that everything in this video is coming from a trusted source, so pretty much everything we talk about is likely to be coming with iOS 18. Now, with that being said, I also want to mention that software leaks never really spoil everything for you because you don't actually see how it's implemented in the software. Things in the software are going to be much different than what they seem like in writing. So that's why I think it's fun to look at the rumors and the leaks for iOS 18 and software in general, because you don't actually fully spoil everything because you don't have a visual of how it's going to be on the device. Okay, so the first thing I'm really excited about is going to be retro wallpaper packs that reference old school icons and slogans. So this comes from Mark Gurman, and we've actually seen kind of a sign of this coming because we've been seeing some of these retro wallpapers get put back into the software over the past year or so. So it looks like we'll have a lot of the, or all of the original iPhone wallpaper. So that will be awesome if you're a nostalgic person like I am. Another big new feature that's coming is going to be locking individual applications with Face ID and Touch ID. So a source told MacRumors that built-in applications like Mail, Messages, Notes, Phone, Photos, Safari, and Settings will be able to be locked behind Face ID for added security. So no more shortcut workarounds for locking individual apps. And then a source also told MacRumors that iOS 18 will extend dark mode to the app icons on the home screen. So now when you put your device in dark mode, the app icons themselves will have a different appearance as well. And this next one sounds boring, but it's big, and that is the Settings application. This is an application you use multiple times on a daily basis. At least I do. And this looks like it might be getting the first big update really ever since the iPhone first came out. So it's finally going to be updated with a focus on improved navigation, better organization, and more reliable search. Now here's one that's really exciting. The Messages application is going to get a lot more like WhatsApp. So we saw rumors in the past how Apple is really trying to make iMessage like WhatsApp, and it looks like iOS 18 is going to be a big step in that direction because it looks like you'll be able to schedule a message to send later with iOS 18. Plus, you'll be able to react to messages with any emoji, like you can do on WhatsApp, like you can do on Instagram, and a lot of other social media applications. You might also be able to send effects for individual words rather than the entire message. There's going to be new colorful icons for the tapbacks instead of the gray color. When you do the exclamation point, love, haha, all those are gray right now. They're going to be colorized. You'll also have a smart replies feature to create replies to messages and emails for you. And speaking of mail, you'll also have a Gmail-like feature that automatically categorizes incoming messages based on the text within the message. And of course, on the topic of messages, we are going to see RCS support later this year as well, which is going to be huge for texting between an iPhone and an Android or vice versa. So what is the number one rumor that we hear about every single year for iOS? That is a revamped control center. We've been hearing that for I think every year for the past 5 or 6 years, but it looks like with iOS 18, we're finally going to be seeing a change to the control center. We've heard this from Mark Gurman. We've heard this from MacRumors. Several sources have mentioned this, and it looks like you'll be able to rearrange the control center toggles from the control center itself and not in settings. You'll also have multiple pages of toggles, a new music widget, and an updated interface for controlling smart home devices. And to go along with that control center, we're also going to see a pretty big change, it seems like, to the home screen of the iPhone as well, because it looks like app icons will no longer have to remain in the grid like we've always had. So you might be able to place the icons wherever you want on the home screen. And I remember back in the past, that was like one of the top reasons that I jailbroke my device, because I can move those icons to wherever I want so I can see the wallpaper behind it and create little designs. So it looks like that might be coming in iOS 18, which I will be stoked if that actually happens. And also the icon colors will be customizable. Now it's not gonna be full-blown custom icons like you have on Android, but you might be able to change the color of certain applications, maybe based on a category. It also looks like there's gonna be a new new application, a new first-party application with iOS 18 called Passwords. So this is going to be a competitor to 1Password and LastPass, and this is based on the iCloud keychain. It will have a list of user logins, Wi-Fi passwords, and passkeys. It can also support verification codes and serve as an authentication app like Google Authenticator. Now, at this point, it's pretty apparent. I think everybody knows that the biggest change coming in iOS 18 is going to be Apple's AI, which Apple is apparently going to be marketing as Apple Intelligence. So if you hear Apple saying AI throughout the keynote, they're not referencing artificial intelligence, they're referencing Apple Intelligence. And that is a big brain move in my opinion. So yeah, AI is going to be the star of the show, and there are several features that we're going to be expecting with iOS 18. So it's going to start in beta to begin with, and you will have to opt in to enable these features. So there are a lot of people out there who think that AI is spying on them or something like that, which is crazy. This is Apple we're talking about here. They're going to have privacy first. But if you want to, not take advantage of these features, you don't have to. It's going to be off by default, which I think is a smart move. iOS 18 is going to have a smarter Siri and better AI integration into most of Apple's first-party applications using their own on-device LLM model, but they're also going to integrate with OpenAI's ChatGPT for cloud-based tasks. Gurman says that Siri will be able to have precise control over individual features and actions within applications. So that means that you can tell Siri to do full-on tasks for you, like deleting emails, changing the photo and the camera application, changing it from photo to video. You're going to be able to do things like that with your voice only. And the Spotlight search will also get refreshed with more intelligent results and improved sorting. The Photos app is going to use AI to enhance the image or remove a person or an object from a photo, kind of like what we've seen on the Pixel phones and also, of course, in Photoshop. Safari is going to get intelligent search, which is going to use AI to identify key topics and phrases on a web page and provide a summary in seconds. We're also going to get the summarization of your missed notifications, notes, text messages, and emails. So a big push for Apple with AI is going to be summarizing things, saving you time by showing you a summary of your notifications, notes, and everything else. And here's another one that's really interesting, and that is AI-generated emojis. And this is another thing I mentioned, like I mentioned at the beginning, where you can hear all these leaks all you want, but you're not going to actually know how it's going to look in person, like actually in the software, because AI-generated emojis, it sounds cool, but it's really hard to visualize how that's going to work. And that's why I say that the software leaks, you can't really fully spoil software leaks because you can't actually see it in action. So AI generated emojis are expected with iOS 18. And this is going to be interesting because you can create emojis based on what you're typing. So you'll be able to combine different emojis based on what you're typing in that context. Also, the voice memos application will automatically transcribe recordings, which is going to eliminate and it's going to Sherlock a lot of paid applications out there that I personally use. The books application is going to be able to use Siri to open specific books or sections of the app and flip through book pages. And there are dozens of other changes expected with AI in iOS 18, but I'll stop there. And I do also want to mention that we've heard this for a while now, but the iPhone 15 Pro and later will be required for some of these more advanced AI features. Now, most of the AI features coming in iOS 18, I would imagine, will be available for all devices that can run iOS 18. However, the more sophisticated tasks, probably the ones that involve ChatGPT, will require the iPhone 15 Pro and newer, according to Gurman. The Notes application is also expected to get a really big improvement this year, so we might be able to record voice memos directly into Notes with a transcript available. It's also going to have mathematical notation and AI-generated summaries of key points in notes and audio recording. So if you record, an audio note and you want to transcribe it, you could also use AI to summarize that transcription of your audio note, which sounds awesome. Apple Maps is also going to get custom routes where you can choose specific roads to travel on while navigating, and also topographic maps, which debuted on the Apple Watch last year. That looks to be coming to iOS 18. The Calendar app is now going to integrate with reminders to bring data in, and they're going to work together. The AirPods are going to get a new hearing aid feature and also a hearing test feature, though this may not be announced at this event. Gurman says this might be coming later on in the year, but that's going to be big if you have the AirPods. The Apple Music application is going to have auto-generated playlists that are created by AI, and it's going to improve song transitions. We might be able to select a custom transition now with iOS 18, which will be pretty interesting. And then, of course, all of the accessibility features that we talked about in a previous video that were actually confirmed by Apple to be coming in iOS 18. They always show off the accessibility features ahead of WWDC. Now, a big feature coming to iPadOS 18 is going to be a calculator application. Yes, a calculator app is finally coming to iPadOS 18. Now, I've always used the Spotlight search, so I never really needed a calculator app, but it's great to see a first-party native calculator app finally coming to the iPad. And it's going to look apparently very similar to how it does on the iPhone and the Mac. Now, as far as watchOS 11, we're not really hearing a ton in terms of watchOS 11, but it looks like we're going to have an updated Siri interface and major changes to some key applications such as fitness. And then for the Apple Vision Pro and visionOS 2, it looks like it's not going to be a major overhaul, but features such as new environments, the Passwords app, and Vision Pro versions of iPad software are going to be coming to the Vision Pro. And then as far as when to expect iOS 18 Beta 1, so WWDC starts at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will be streaming it here on my channel, my reaction to it, so you guys can all chat with me in that live stream. And we're going to see iOS 18 Developer Beta 1 shortly after the event. So it might actually come out during the event. Usually it comes out shortly after the event ends, which will probably be a couple hours. The event's probably going to be maybe 2 hours, potentially even 2.5 hours, but we'll see. So those are some last minute leaks and rumors with iOS 18. And if you want to see what actually comes true and some additional features in iOS 18, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below and make sure to join the live stream tomorrow. I'll see you soon.